It's my diabolical ploy. No, it's my diabolical ploy. No, it doesn't cover it, boy. Oh. Oh. Seems one little hero woke up faster than I thought you would. Oh, of healing wasn't on your file. Okay, suppose that means I have to go then get some food and water for you. Or I start monologuing. Luckily, I'm not stalked. Yes, hero. I am gonna do it. For the simple reason, little hope. It wasn't on your file. Though, I suppose I should have expected that. You're always so interesting and entertaining. Should have expected that new manifestations of how your power works would come up. It's so curious what the central thesis of your power is. Anyway, I know that regeneration generally uses resources, and as you have more powers than just this new regeneration, it must have a limit or something. So, I need to get you food and water for me to properly monologue at you. It'd be such a shame to have you actually die. Or, pass out while I'm monologuing at you. So no, we cannot have that, hero. Besides, as I said, this place is well stocked. It's no bother. Yes, this is one of my secret lairs. As such, I do keep supplies here. Don't worry about it. Anyway, no, you shoo for now, not yet. Oh, don't worry, hero. Nothing of import. Go. I'll just go grab your food, then I'll be back. There, here are some little supplies that I have here. They aren't necessarily the best tasting, but they should suffice for now. Oh, I suppose I can undo some of these restraints. There we go. Oh, come now. You're a supporter, a healer. Somebody who supports in the back line, regardless of new powers that you've developed in self-healing, it seems. Or perhaps a manifestation of your healing ability applied subconsciously. That would make sense. No matter. Regardless, you're not able to fight me, darling. Oh, I should introduce my new name, by the way. It's Dark Magician Trans Girl, trademarked. Yes, I know it's tacky. Unfortunately, it seemed that Dark Magician was already trademarked. I did try to go for what as a villain would, but unfortunately, it got your fucking copyright heroes on my ass. Yes. Well, I could deal with them. They were relentlessly pursuing me for months. That's why I haven't been able to have any time with you, hero. Always interruptions. Did spark a plan in my head, but I shouldn't get ahead of myself. Anyway, since I transitioned it to trans girl, they seem to go over and, be done now. Regardless of whatever reason they hold. I'm just assuming the laws are stupid. It worked, so I have to use that for now. May come up with something else later, but for now, you can just call me Dark Magician for short. Well, of course, us talking to each other shouldn't trigger their copyright, I would assume. Anyway, their malevolence in keeping up their heroic institution of going over towards the strongest of copyrights did inspire me, though they aren't the only thing I've been plotting. Oh, yes. As I said, since it's been months since we had our little escapade, I've been plotting. I actually have 3 plans that have been in the works. Only one I've been able to really work on, but, you'll see that one later. It's a third plan. Oh, yes, they are all diabolical in how they work. You shall feel the utmost despair for them due to your empathy, hero. So, first off, I should ask, have you heard of containment zones? Oh, yes, yes. Little areas that are quote unquote protected by the companies. Given all they could ever need, so their filthy blood isn't able to mix with ours and result in disastrous powers that could possibly kill someone or kill themselves. Oh, that's spreading to the general population. No, 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 no. Hence the centers, and they are humanely cared for, as even if they are inferior in, having powers, as long as there isn't exposure, they shouldn't awaken their powers that much. Mean that it's for their own good that they're inside those little areas. I'm sure when I talk about it like that, you can already hear some bullshit. And you would be right, hero. Those little cesspits are kept in the barest level of maintenance, though keeping them in check is always high build. Because when you look in towards them, they're not given that much food, not given that much water, and many of them just starve or die there. At least in most containment zones, there is one decent place. Though it seems that that old man is going to be dying soon, so I'm sure there'll be chaos again there. But where was I? Oh, yes. Um, so, the reason that such a place holds on, though, they haven't completely exterminated everyone, regardless of, the old contracts and any potential backlashes there, is because of one reason. Profit. You see, these people aren't considered citizens, as they are underneath the, well, entire overview of them. As such, if somebody awakens a decent power and presents themselves towards them, well, 2 things happen. Either they get culled, or they join them. And with a useful ability, becomes company heroes, or they work in manufacturing or something. And the greatest boost? They don't require a salary. Barely any money to go and give them a basic salary because they're basically slaves due to the contract they're forced to sign, which there is no legal protection of because every legal protection applies to citizens. Well, they're able to scrap out a little bit. After all, only keeping $20 to $30 an hour for them, for their, specialized work, isn't that much for how much they make, but skimming just a little bit off the top. Oh, that makes it so where they can pay less towards certain contractors due to their own. Again, it's only a minimum increase. At most, they make an 18% profit. But, for people like them, that's all they really care about. Regardless of how badly they fuck over millions of potential customers, which they could earn even more money from, a corporate head is not necessarily intelligent, especially when fueled by bigotry. So, after their little debacle using these corporate heroes, I grew curious about where they came from and learned all the, information I just told you. Apparently it's quite hush-hush. Totally understandable. After all, your heroic organization is funded by them, no? Sure, you have some principles, it seems, but giving up them seems to be in line, at least for some of you fuckers. So, to reduce your funding, I just need to hit them. So I decided to look into their own little contracts. And you see, the people who made those contracts weren't stupid. There was lots of ways that they could refit up different old equipment to bring it up to the new standard, increase their standard of living and everything. The people who made it were where technology would keep going over, especially with when powers were working. However, it seems that a lot of those got held up in court, and, just for some reason, it isn't been taken up as a lawsuit or anything. Quite fascinating, and the judges aren't bringing it up themselves, or the civil servants. Just seems to be a bit of a black spot for whatever reason. But all it would take is a little bit of money, supported by certain heroes that may or may not have been blackmailed, to bring these cases forward. And suddenly, their negligence would become a public display for everyone to see. A PR nightmare. Then, they had to make a choice. Though, it's a false one. After all, they either have to try and placate the public by some grand media news, spending so much money for it, or actually follow through on their promises. Unfortunately, and I was quite astounded to learn this, the original people who put down those papers, well, it's small, but there's interest, and they're forced to do them when they go through the contract of, the first step of validating that these are real and true. So, it's just simply for a little bit of a profit to, personally devalue them for me. Make it so they can't give you as much funding. After all, you heroes are quite annoying in all my plans. For that same type of spite, they'll be losing all of their profits. Hell, many of them may go bankrupt if there wasn't for a specific clause. Oh, hero, the ones who made these decisions are, quite old, and they have quite a large golden parachute. Most of them are old enough that their names are mentioned. And it says their name or the company, so personally they take responsibility to have to personally empty out their coffers. Not the company, not losing that many jobs, but the CEOs, those little twats who decided that they had to make as much money as possible. Well, they're now legally held reliable by the laws they set up. They have to eat the loss. After all, they are contractually related to go over and make as much profit for their shareholders as possible. So, since the shareholders come first, and that led to all the decisions that they made with the containment zones, isn't it poetic to make them feel the despair that they've inflicted on so many others, in the name of profit, forced to go over and take responsibility? Oh, the despair that they shall experience. Isn't that so evil? Take the leg out from under your What, hero? Yes, this is evil. I literally planned this all out because of their annoyance with their copyright heroes. Well, yes. Why would I target the heroes well, quote-unquote heroes themselves in case they have no free will? That's like getting angry at a gun, not the person who shoots with it. It'd be illogical, and I am many things, hero, but I am not illogical. You wouldn't think I'm that dumb, right? Good, my little hope. Oh, it seems that you're not suitably impressed. Ugh. I suppose I'll be going towards my second grand evil Mittens, no, Mittens, you were supposed to come out the third one. Fine. Amethyst. Julie. Gabe. Yes, you, Gabe. You can come out too. Go with the hero. Go. Yeah. They've been eyeing you since you came in. Apparently, they very much want to fucking be near you. Careful with their claws, they are quite sharp. But otherwise, they shouldn't harm you. If anything, they're probably going to be more annoyed that I try and grab them from you. Suppose we're skipping my second grand evil plan to go to the third. It's this. I've been planning on spending money while I've been running away from those fucking annoying twats to make these. Well, you see, hero, there's a few things with them. One, they're part demon. Yes, part demon, part something else, which I won't be revealing the truth or secret of. But all I will say is it's the reason that these cats are purple. Or kittens, I suppose. They take so long to fucking age. Well, when you mix in blood of different fucking creatures, these cats have a naturally very long lifespan. Will be quite good to sell towards immortals, which is what I'm planning on doing. Or at least people which want to live very long. Well, if you have difficulty understanding how this can be evil, let me tell you. You see, I've constructed these little kittens. And I spent quite a bit of investment going over towards different biologists and stuff, different science heroes and villains. The heroes anonymously. And, working through many different people. Hell, I had to practice with god hands to make sure that these cats actually came out the way they did. Quite a mock-up to make sure that these fucking creatures come back to life after they've died from a false experiment. But they are now long-lived, and, because their blood's got mixed with something else, to the fact that they are, not really cats anymore. They have the shape of one, they have the look of one, the feel of one, but as they are a mixed breed of two different type of things now, demons and my special ingredient, well, these cats aren't going to release certain things that a cat normally would. Do you have any idea what that would lead towards an evil plan, hero? No. Hero, cats still scratch at people. These ones don't, even, unless they're protecting someone. Yes. I would never use them to harm children. It's insulting that you would think so. Yes. You see, they will actually protect those which are small. By their little form, they are quite compact and quite strong, and they may have certain mythical abilities. As such, they can actually protect the children of heroes, or protect the hero themselves slightly, depending on their combat prowess. And as they grow older, I'm sure that will become even more remarkable. Well, I suppose it'd be nice to control all of them, but that'd be taking fucking millennia. No, hero. Do you need me to tell you what the plan is? Fine. But to lay down some... I'll let you have one more shot. To lay down the ground rules, though, the Villainous Association does not target children or innocent civilians as much. They have to have a crime or something else, or a personal grudge or something to hold on to. And nothing more... Not like, I don't know, they spilled tea on you by accident as a waiter or something. There has to be a definable reason for targeting them. It's part of the reason our associations don't necessarily eliminate each other. Yes, the Villainous Association was created by those who had been tragically forced into situations. They wouldn't necessarily continue such practices after they've gained power, Truly, you thinking that I'm one of those sorts is one of the most insulting things you've ever said to me, hero. Fine. I'll accept your apology. If you don't interrupt the rest of my monologue. Good hero. Now, where was I? Oh, yes. It's for a simple reason that I genetically modified the catness out of them by keeping them cats. You see, have you ever heard of those who are allergic to cats? Hmm? Oh, perhaps you see where I'm going with this hero. You see, there are many people which wish to own cats, but either don't make enough income to genetically change themselves completely to make a step where they, are no longer allergic to cats, or on principle they don't want to go over about such a great change. There is debate about some people thinking it would change their identity or something. So, there's quite a market for having these little cats and such. But you see, I'm not only doing this for the money. That's certainly going to be nice to fund the rest of my little plans. The main reason I've driven this one, well, so far, was do you have an understanding of what those who have an allergy to cats but want a cat would think? There are people which can't be around cats. They'd idealize the perfect little pet, something that will be perfectly obedient and perfectly behaved and may slightly act out, but will never cause real ruckus or trouble. A made-up pet that's just perfect and amazing, but still has little troubles, but nothing really that bad. That little made-up image of a perfect little pet that's just there. That's what many of them envision. So I ask you, hero, what will happen to them when they finally, as a miracle, as seemingly God sent, they're able to finally own a cat? Finally have one that's been vetted and checked and done over by all the professionals, that it's not going to hurt you, that's not a trick or anything else. You can let your total guard down. And you learn that even if the cat's better behaved than most, it's still a pet, an animal that goes out wild, something that can't be fully controlled. The realities of having a pet, even if it's better behaved than a normal, natural one, will have to dawn on them. And that hope, that perfect, pristine image that they held on to, and the whole reason they got a cat, will be utterly demolished. And I'm sure their guilt will force them to have the cat still. After all, I am aiming for heroes with this one. Though I suppose with time I could also aim for civilians and spread that lovely sort of spare. So don't you see? Giving people which want cats but never had the opportunity to genetically, the final opportunity to have their dreams until they crushed by the realities of having a pet. Isn't that absolutely... You're giving me that look again, hero. That little smirk, like I'm doing something funny. Do you really think my monologues are funny? How dare you? Saying my plans aren't that evil. I am making people lose billions upon billions of dollars, and I'm going to be crushing the hopes and dreams of, childhood dreams that people have held on to for most of their lives. And, actual children are going to have their hearts broken having a pet that they don't imagine. And you're telling me it's not evil? But yes, making only one person pay, but it's still millions of billions of dollars. Sure, it's going to help people. But really, do you have no type of concept for how much to spare those few individuals are going to have? They deserve it. Oh. I mean, that's not very heroic of you. Even the most terrible person shouldn't have to pay for, anything. Emotionally, or to be devastated by a villain, right, hero? That's your creed. You wouldn't suddenly break it for me, right? Mm. You haven't explained, by the way, how the cats isn't going to be breaking people's dreams or anything. Go on, hero, tell me your Seems we have an interruption. Oh, worry not, hero. Just annoyance, is all. With your powers, though, you're still recovering, I would assume. So you're not at full power? Yes, and they're tougher, but with a person like that shooting all willy-nilly, they could harm the cats. I paid far too much on their merchandising, and Mittens always gets more fighty, and I don't want to have to deal with that when having to deal with an intruder, you know? Do not make me regret this, hero, but could you take them away for now? With you? Yes, yes. I will release you from your bonds and you can go out the back way. Here's a map of my entire fucking lair, and you can get out of it. Alright? There's a few possible ways in case there's any, I don't know, blockages or something. It's been a while since I've done a patrol. Should have done that beforehand. I didn't think it was necessary. After all, I made sure that nobody could track you. Yes, yes. Logging into your database, deleting some data, so we could have some private time to finally monologue at you and reveal all my plans. But no, there has to be somebody who interrupts. Can you look after the kittens for me? I need you to. Do not pay attention to my voice. You have greater things to pay attention to. Go on. Shoo. She gone? Seems to be. She noticed the shifts more. Well, that was planned, but still. Really? After all the fucking plotting, learning all the legal fucking loopholes, even finding ways to hack into their fucking database, it's a villain coming over to pick a fight that ends things. Oh, fuck's sake. You know, like I spent so fucking long to build up these fucking plans. Like a maker that way she thinks that I'm, I don't know, some misunderstood. Her's a person, someone she can fix with her fucking goodness. All planted over for my little fucking hope. But no! Making them sound diabolical, but just a little bit like it's a small delusion. Going over and making it like valid reasons that I could possibly interpret them as that, but seemingly not valid enough that she would actually interpret them as evil. But no, there has to be a villain who breaks in. It's annoying. Literally, like fucking spending months learning about legal loopholes just to go over and plant that seed in her. At very least, it seemed like she did pick that up. I wonder if a little savior complex is gonna start. Well, that I've wanted it enough. Try and, well, grab me to save me from myself. Spying the gods, I want her so bad. Perhaps that'll be enough. Or it has to be. Closer to. Well, she should be far away that I can demonstrate my might. Blow off a little steam by letting off a little bit of who I actually am against this annoyance. Oh, maybe that'll make fun. Well, make up for the fun. Always with this. Well, I'm sure their screams will be enough to make up a little bit for it. Besides, I already know where she's gonna be now. Now. Little fucking gunslinger. Let's find out why you've interrupted me. About over here. Well, that's developing nicely. And that needs a little bit more for me right here. That should lead towards the good hi. You're not supposed to be here. Now, oh. Is there a story worth telling for you to come up to me in old plot thread? Oh my, which interesting one is that? That one. Okay, that one's gonna have to take a little bit more attention, unfortunately. Good to know that I got, my automatic processes to make sure. But, is... Oh. Their powers interacting with mine, didn't they? In case I want to get a proper muzzle on them, I'm gonna have to... This record has... This record here... Wait. It's been a while since I've done it, but... This is a world that bears my name. Should be able to have a little bit more influence. I should send some messages. I'm gonna need to call in a few favors. Hopefully those couples aren't on their honeymoon. That's been such a long one for them. Anyway, this here though. All I should have to do is just focus a little. There's a little progress. A little more. Good. Now. There. That file should be now non-canonical. So just insert this little thing here. And bango! That should allow us a little bit more of a break between the original file to add that a little bit tighter of a muscle. And on the other side, what did we... Oh. Only up to that fucking event. Understandable, I suppose. Well, that leaves a little bit more variability than I'm used to. Well, just need to write a bit more suspense than I was expecting. Should be enough. Oh, you're still here. I guess you're gonna see that. That adds to suspense, so it's fine. But for the rest of this little... Well, from now on it shouldn't be considered a rewrite. For the rest of this little story, so we can catch up on your big fucking story in, your channel thing. Your vessel for fucking seeing this story is, yeah. YouTube seems to be the name of whatever the fucking altar we're using. Alright. You should get, updates on this soon. Don't worry. But we do need to catch up on the script of this one, though. Just to make sure everything's in working order. Anyway, outside of that, you have to go. It's fine to add a little bit more suspense, since I have already been built up in this story. Well, by this point in time, not in this fucking side story, or perspective. But you have to go now. Don't worry, though. I do always write a happy ending, though there may be a little bit of tension with this one right here before we get there. But don't worry, I have everything under control. Regardless of how she rages, she won't slip the leash. And with that, I have to lead you adieu. Au revoir, little ones. Oh, wait. We call you dolls on this one, don't we? Be good little dollies and enjoy the rest of the story. Goodbye.